What's up, everybody? It's a homecoming Friday here, and we are at Mr. B Clothing at 1995 Northwest 86th Street in Clive, where I'm with my friend Tim Sitzman. Tim, I was talking about this on the Mr. B Clothing podcast earlier this week, where I was watching the Ole Miss Alabama game last week.
Bow ties.
Yeah, they're all wearing ties and like sweater vests, and they look great going to the football game.
Didn't we dress you up like a Southern gentleman?
Yes, you did. I did that deal for the Kentucky Derby. Yeah.
You know, it's fun to see clothing be the center point. And you know, in Oxford, Mississippi, the Southern people know how to dress.
They do.
I'm not knocking all you fanatics out there, but you could learn something from the Southern folks.
They look great. I loved it.
They love to dress up. They actually wear sport coats to football games and tailgating, and they enjoy the fact that dressing up feels good. And we've kind of lost that a little bit, but you can come to Mr. B's at 1995 Northwest 86, and I guarantee you we can revitalize that feeling that wearing great clothing and feeling good about yourself is still alive.
And it ties into Iowa State wearing those fancy gold uniforms.
How about
this
that?
weekend? Where
I sound like Mel Allen. How about that?
Well, yeah, you do. But the point is, when you dress well, you feel better about it. And that's kind of what Paul was saying in his media deal. Like, hey, the guys want to wear this. Maybe they'll play better. Let's see.
Short little story. We had a guy come in on a Harley one day, and he was going to interview for a job, and he looked like a biker when he came in. He went in the dressing room, came out with a nice suit, and I told him, I said, you look like the #1 CEO of any company in the nation, and just putting on the suit. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
Can happen to you. Let's talk some football and basketball. Let's talk Cyclones.
Do you think Iowa State will beat Toledo on Saturday?
Absolutely, I do.
There's no question in your mind.
There is no question in my mind. It's a W. Let's mark it down. Let's put it on the scorecard. I think there's 5 wins left. You know, I predicted at the beginning of the season.
You still are picking bowl game.
Yep.
Yes, I love it.
There's 5 wins on the table, and you guys wait to see. And I'm not going to get into the whole Pollard thing from my perspective. I think that's behind us. I think it's fired up the team.
In the rear view mirror, buddy.
That's why the windshield's bigger than the rear view mirror.
Absolutely.
There's a lot more to see in the front of us. So I still think there's 5 wins ahead. There's going to be a couple. One upset. They're going to get Texas for sure. Put that down. They're going to get Texas for sure.
Check.
Yeah, they're going to get that, and they're going to get the TCU upset.
At TCU as well. I like it, Tim.
So we're going to see a good finish. 6-6 is on the. I had said 7-5, but it's 6-6 right now. I'm regrouping because we lost a couple I thought we could win, or one that we could have won.
I like where your head's at, buddy.
I like what's happening up there. Hey, first and foremost, all you fanatics, be a fan. They're good young 18, 19, 20-year-old kids giving their best, and go and enjoy it. And you know, college football is fun.
Man, I wish every guy was like you.
Oh, I wish.
You're a good man, Tim Sitzman.
Well, it's better to be that way than be so crazy fanatic.
Can I just plant you to call into Cyclone Reaction after every Iowa State football game?
We all want to fix it, and I understand that emotion too. I really do. But it isn't that they're doing anything wrong. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose when they go on the field. And that's just the fact.
So the Cyclone basketball team was recently picked to finish 5th in the Big 12. A little bit of outrage from the Cyclone Nation. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, you did lose the Player of the Year. You did lose DeAndre Kane, who could have been the Player of the Year. From the outsider's perspective, it's kind of like, you know, is it? But at the same, that's still low, Tim. This is I think a third place team, maybe second if they. I'm not as high on Texas as everybody else is, so potentially third place team. What do you think?
Well, you know, I don't really, you know, and you're catching me a little bit at a disadvantage. My mind's all on football.
Oh, okay.
But let me tell you this. I think that it's a little bit like shooting a gun, and they shot a couple bullets. They lost a couple people in Kane and Elam, but they've filled it in. Not only did they put the bullets back in the gun, but they have a little more depth on the bench. I look for a Final 8 kind of team. You know, and maybe beyond.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you get to the Final 8, anything happens. Anything happens.
Yeah.
You can. Some teams that win it because they're playing at the utmost ability that they have, and they're getting a little lucky.
Yeah.
In the Final 4 kind of thing.
Yeah.
The lucky teams win. I mean, they're just everything's clicking.
Well, and if Iowa State has George Niang last year, who knows what happened?
We don't know.
We could be talking national title right now.
You got to remember, there's a kid that went in and replaced him and got 42 points.
This is true.
So how do we know what would happen? How do we know? And it's just all if, what if.
You're guaranteeing bowl games. I guarantee you Iowa State would have beaten Connecticut last year with that George Niang. How do you like that?
That's hindsight, buddy. That's rear view mirror stuff.
We're looking ahead.
But I like our team. I like our chances. I like our coach. it's going to be a great basketball season, and we're going to have some phenomenal games, and we're going to have some major upsets.
Well, the season is less than a month away.
Isn't
now.
it amazing?
Yeah, it's less than a month away, and that means, Tim, the fall/winter wardrobe you guys are stocked. I saw some winter jackets here when I walked in. It looks great.
I said to my help, Mac and Mike and John, and we have a new guy, Ben. So come in and see us. They're all anxious. We are stacked. We are loaded with clothing.
I need like a flannel wool blazer.
We're going to fix this guy up. Yeah. Maybe the next time you see us together, he'll have his new blazer on.
Well, because my guy Tommy Birch from the Des Moines Register, he does the podcast with me on
Tommy's
Tuesday.
our friend too.
He told me he came in here and bought some slacks. He bought a blazer. He said you trimmed it up for him and everything.
We take care of Tommy. He's a good man, and
he is.
We like what he writes. He's a good writer. He does a good job for the Des Moines Register, and you guys read Tommy. He's got a good point of view of things.
He's good people.
Yeah.
So are you, Tim. We appreciate your time. Homecoming victory. You guaranteed victory for the Cyclones.
I do, and I want to thank all the fanatics who've been in recently and said something to me. It's been a real joy. And come in and say hello, and just take a look at what we have. You're going to have to walk between the aisles. We got a lot of goods for you, and you'll like what you see.
Good stuff. 1995, Northwest 86th Street in Clive. Be that fan who wears the bow tie to the game on Saturday. I challenge you.
Put a sport coat on, the bow tie. Go to that tailgate and have some fun.
Well, it'd be awesome. He's Tim. I'm Chris. So long, everybody.